I'm going to be making a example program. Starting off, we're going to be making the program folder. So in the programs folder, create a new folder using the drawing number, revision, and a brief description. And then I'm going to copy that because I'm going to use that later. And then inside that folder, you're going to input, or you're going to move any setup pictures and solid models. Your 3D models should be in either STP or IGS format. And then now you have a folder ready to use for programming. Open up Modus, go to New Program, Browse, and then go back to Programs and locate the folder you just created. And then name your file. I'm going to name it the same thing that I named the folder. Save. Make sure you have Open Inspection dialog box checked and click OK. In Programs, I'm going to turn on date and time and text so I can attach it to the digital results. Model, check the Use Model file, go to Browse, and then again find your folder that you created, that you put your model in. And then use that model. Reporting, you're going to ask at the bottom down here, ask reporting key questions and save reporting key answers. Then you're going to skip external paths, repeat options, you're going to turn repeat on and prompt the user after each execution. Result files, you're going to check auto print at the end and create CSV file. Skip comparator settings and reporting keys. Go to scan and create a scan file. Nothing in scripting, SBC transfer, or offline. Click OK. Your reporting key questions will pop up. You can fill that in now, or you can do it later when you're finished with the program. I'm going to just, since I already have it in my clipboard, I'm going to open the start of program and paste my file name there, so then it'll actually be the same and in my file designation. So this is what it's going to save your digital results as, and what's going to show up on the top of the page of the printout. I'm going to change my units to inches. Make sure my decimal places is at 4. Set my approach distance to 1/8 of an inch, as well as my clearance distance for now. Also going to verify that my retract distance is 0.125. So I've got my approach, my clearance, and my retract, which I put down here. So I have all that. Go back to the start, run that. So it's taking all of those changes. Right click on the gears, insert comment. Okay, now I have a blank space, have that highlighted, copy, paste that a few times to make room for my program information. Double click up here, double click on the highlighted section to edit your comment. This is going to be the program information. Next line is going to be the author. Part number or drawing number. Including the revision. Part description. program revision, so then we know if there's any changes that were made. And then initial and the date. Program description. And this one we're just going to check the slot locations. Check slot. Save often, and then move my indicator down here. It always inputs right above the indicator. I'm going to input my setup instructions, but first I'm going to prep my photos. So going to my program folder, I have the two images here as JPEG format. Modus will not let you use JPEG for the setup photos, so we need to convert those to a bitmap image. So I'm going to open with Paint, just verify that it's what I want, and then save as, wait, cancel that, save as BMP picture. That is a bitmap file. Make sure that it's going into the right folder. It's just up here. If not, make sure that you select it and then name it accordingly. Close that, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one over here. So I'm going to have two setup pictures. And I'm just changing the name by one digit. To input the prompt, we're going to go to high level, prompt, and then this is going to show you a preview of what your pop-up window is going to look like. We're going to adjust the size over here on the right, the dialog box, this entire thing. I'm going to change the height, 400. Maximize this screen and expand it so I can see the whole thing. And then the width I'll make 400. Since I have my select tool selected, I can actually click on these and move them. I'm going to create an image using the picture tool, and then you just make a large box. Actually, since I'm going to have two images, let me make this a bit wider. So I'm going to go to my select tool again, selecting my dialog box, and go to width, and make that 700, maybe 600. That's 7600. That should be good. Add another picture. Go over here for my second one. Move this over again. Now I can select this picture box, and over here it's going to show picture 0, picture 1, picture 0. Under image, click on that. Your browse. I clicked on this to bring up the browse pop-up button. Go to your folder that you created that has your bitmap file in it. That'd be picture 1. Click here, browse button, picture 2. Now I have my two setup pictures. I'm going to input text up here using the text tool. Creates a text box. You don't type in here, you actually type over in the right, over here where it says text. Setup part as shown with That is my setup instructions. Just gonna shrink that down a little bit and center it. I have my setup instructions. I have my start point image so they know where to put the probe when they start it. Space there. Okay, now to get this into my program, you're gonna go to File, Exit, and Update Demus Program. It's gonna ask you if you would like to update your Demus program. Yes. Now it input my declared variable, which is the prompt and the user prompt itself. If you double click and the dollar signs above that, you can step over that and it'll show you a pop-up prompt that you just created. Save. Now that is done. Now, above pause, right click, insert comment again. I'm going to copy, paste a lot of times. Give me room to work. Double click right under here. I like to put spaces between my commands so I can group them. Save. Now the first thing I'm going to do is give an operator prompt, letting them know that the CMM is going to want to obtain the right stylus. This one's going to be the 2x40. And I'm going to tell them to make sure that the path is clear to the change rack. So that way it doesn't crash if it needs to change the probe. Next, I'm going to change settings. Right now it is currently in manual mode. So I'm going to go to settings, change it to program. And now I can select my sensor. Go to select, all available, drop down, and I want the 2x40. Okay? There it is. If it did not currently have that equipped, it would go and retrieve that stylus. But since I already have it, it didn't need to do anything. Now, also to make sure that I'm in the right starting orientation, because you don't know if it's going to be in a different orientation from another program or from moving it manually, I'm going to input an absolute move in the current position, which means wherever it's at, it's going to move and go to A0, B0, which puts the probe right straight up and down. And then I'm going to put it back into manual mode. So then we can move to our starting position. Saving it. I'm going to input another operator prompt. So I'm going to tell them now to move the stylus to the starting position as indicated in the setup instructions. Okay, there's my prompt. So from there it'll be a manual move, and to make that our actual start point, I'm going to go to inspect and point 0. This is going to make a point out of wherever the stylus is at the current moment. I'm going to name that start point, spacing with an underscore, because any command prompt will not read an empty space. So you'll have to put either a hyphen or group everything together or an underscore. And then you also need to input the actual location of that start point relative to the model's datum. Actually, first I need to locate the model. So let me do that. I'm going to cancel that.